Good evening, friends. Chicago Bears podcast. This is Victor, and welcome to another frustrating Sunday afternoon. I really feel for the fans. I really do. I have a lot of compassion. I hope people weren't, by my insane laughter reaction to the missed field goal. I got a lot of comments saying, shouldn't you be irate? And I wanted to explain last time, only so many times you can be irate, throw the phone, get in an argument with your family, piss off the wife, piss off friends, or just you're pissed off with yourself, you're at the game. There's only so many times you can go through that emotion with the same team to the point where it becomes a little bit different to view it. You view it almost as a character study because the way the Bears lose games is a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. Games that should be in the bag, we'll find a way. We will find a way to blow it like we did at the end of this game in overtime. We found a way. We found a new interesting way. If it's not the kicker, it's Caleb. If it's not Caleb, it's somebody dropping the ball. If it's not that, it's Eberflus calling a crazy play. If it's not Eberflus, it's the wind. It's the football guy. It's always something against us. It's insane. And really, you can't, these kind of games, you really can't say, ownership. Ownership wasn't on the field. Eberflus didn't drop the pass. Ownership didn't commit the penalties. The penalties, guys. Come on, Bears. The penalties are killing us, guys. You guys got to get this stuff together. The holding. You take away out of the first three quarters the momentum-killing drives from drops, which cause an amount of damage, but the penalties in this game have seemed to cause momentum causing, changing flow. And at the end, of course, Carter. Last name Carter, for his first name. Veteran punt returner. He had a great run at the end of this game to put us in position to tie at the end. Prior to that, the ball hit his thigh. He shouldn't touch the ball. The ball became then alive by touching his thigh. Live ball, Vikings recover right there. Right there for them to easy and walk him in a touchdown. That killed you. That's what really killed you. So the great run at the end was great. But you wouldn't have to have run that crazy way and then a kick for a tie. We failed in the two-point conversion. The two-point conversion completion with the kick at the end of the game, we won. It'd be 28-27. Bears win. That's what happened. We didn't complete that two-point conversion. They said, why'd you go for it at that time? If you went for a kick, we still would have lost that game. If you went for a kick, it would have been 1 point less. Actually, the kick would have put us over. I got to go over it again. We'll go over it from the top. Tomorrow, we'll look over the film, what that kick mathematically would have been. We were down by 10 points. We went for a 2-point conversion. We were unsuccessful. So had we got it, we would have been short with the field goal. It would have been 26-27. We would have lost. So instead, the field goal at the end tied it. It would have been a loss. Loss for the make. Tie. There's no tie. It was either lose it with the kick or make get the 2-point conversion. And with the kick, we would have won. Those were the two roads. Keenan Allen dropped it twice. Cole Kmet dropped one huge ball. Really bad. DeAndre Swift threw his hands. That kills you. The drops and the penalties. We beat ourselves again. End of game. Caleb overthrows to Rome. Overthrows. The accuracy is still rookie mistakes. Overall, he played a great game. But he definitely made some rookie mistakes. His accuracy is questionable. He's the number one pick. He's been through it. He said his confidence is up. This was not the game to overthrow. It wasn't the game. Some people said this was the get wrong game because the Vikings were going to do to us, anything they wanted to us. That's not what happened. That defense gave the Vikings trouble through the entire game. And I'm sorry, we shot ourselves in the foot with drops and penalties. We would have won this game. But we found a way to defeat ourselves, and we are our own worst enemy. So, Caleb gets sacked in overtime. Kills the drive. That was the worst situational football. This guy was it's going to be highlighted and talked about all week long. If you see this video and you're watching other news, the time to let that ball rip or throw it away. He holds that ball too long. And I believe he got sacked earlier in the game. He got sacked because he's looking down for the big play and he's missing his checkdowns. Keep the tempo going. Much better. Again, I believe they scored more points than they did last week. That's an improvement in a sense where to go into overtime against the Vikings was something I did not see. I said we'd lose 21 to 28. It ended up being 30 to 27 in overtime. So I was right there. So you can't totally blame Eberflus caused problems in the previous games that we are suffering today. It's like a domino effect. Can you blatantly blame Eberflus directly for this loss? Yes and no. He hasn't found a way to clean up the penalties, and with the discipline, he has not found a way. But it's not his defense, it's his offense. It's his offense that commits the penalties. They're not disciplined. That falls on him. But these drops are these players got to make the plays. And you'll hear this with the Bears out of their own mouths. They got to make the execution. Keenan Allen was like, hey, that's on me. You got to turn your head around, bro, faster, quicker. That ball 2 times right at his hands. Dropped it. And I did say last week, it would come down to the last few plays. I knew it would be a similar game like last week because the offense does look better. And so now we can compete. We're competing now. But again, late in the season. And I did say this earlier in the year. I said, knowing our luck, we'll start winning games when it's too late. Now with the tide turn, Shane Waldron, had he been still here, every game loss. There's no chance in hell we would have won any game. Total embarrassment. He had to go. With this guy, you put him in this system, our new Thomas Brown. 6 games ago, we would have beat Green Bay. We probably would have beat the Commanders without all these issues because our offense was terrible in the first half of these games. And the Commanders, the Cardinals, no offense in the first half. Commanders, no offense. Then we lost to the New England. That was Shane Waldron all the way. No offense, no points, no win. And that was him. That was Eberflus. I'm sorry. That was Shane Waldron. And of course, Eberflus for hiring the guy. So at the end of the day, it is his fault. He's the one who hired Eberflus that caused this whole shitstorm to begin with. And so now, change happened, and you can see what a difference. What a difference. Did anyone really, a month ago, see us almost beating the Vikings and almost beating the Green Bay? With the way we were getting beat? Could anyone sit there and say, oh yeah, when we face Minnesota, we're going to almost take them. We're going to take them in overtime because we're going to give them we gave them a run for their money. And Minnesota fans, you guys were tight. I imagine I'd be like, wait a minute, are we going to actually lose to are we actually going to lose to these guys? No way. Tie game. And then Caleb Williams holding that ball too long in the worst times possible. In overtime. You got to throw that ball away, son. And that's really what, that's I think all I got today. maybe I'll go over my notes again and I'll be able to have a better picture. But guys, I feel for you. I really do. My sympathies. Me, I don't want to say I've checked out, but I've checked into reality. And I know as long as this coach Eberflus is here, and now with the new OC, that's great. But you got to recover damage time. This is recovering from the flu. It's like recovering from the flu. These guys were suffering with pneumonia 2 weeks ago, prior to Green Bay. Losing to New England, we would have destroyed them with Thomas Brown. Oh my God. Or it would have been a win. I am confident in that. The Cardinals, it would have been a good game. Win or lose, it would have been a good game. Commanders, we would have took care of business. And I think Arizona, we would have too, because we didn't score in the first half those two games. Neither, I believe, New England, Cardinals, or the Patriots, we scored a touchdown. Today's game was the first time we scored a touchdown before an opponent in the first quarter all season. Think about that. Let me say this again. It's insane. It's the first time the Bears scored a touchdown in the first quarter before their opponent all year. First time. We always start off from behind. We always start off from behind or a kick at best the entire season. Many games, many first halves. The victory against the Titans, no points in the first half. It's bad. I could be wrong on that. It was all kicks that we won by. But it was, if anything, 0 or 3 points in the first half. Down the road, our other games, no points in the first half. Shane Waldron in Thomas Brown, touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings, and we're winning. We're winning against the Minnesota Vikings, even for a bit. You would ask me that 3 weeks ago, I would say, first quarter starts off Vikings 14-0. Second quarter, it'll be 7-21, and so on. So there's a lot of good to take from this if we're trying to find some silver lining, and it is that Caleb Williams played better, but these mistakes at the end will cost you games, and he could not hold the darn ball at the end at these moments, at the end in overtime. Throw that thing away. You have to. And this must be a thing that's really on point on the top list of things that he's doing. Like in the forefront of his mind, someone needs to talk to this man and really drive this home. This whole holding the ball thing. I know he's aware to some level. To what level, I don't know. But he's got to let it rip. But he did enough to take this game into overtime. And he put the ball where it needed to be. Roma Dunze, you're a beast. He had a great game. DJ Moore, great game. Cole Kmet, he had a great catch at the end of the game. Big, huge catch. But the drop earlier cost you momentum. That's my story. Guys, let's dry our eyes. I'm here for you guys. Leave a comment. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Let me know how you feel. Put in the comments. Let it pour out. How you feeling about today's loss and our streak? When will we break it? Guys, have a great Sunday, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.